It's a quiet night in February 2001. 12-year-old Steven Kraft Jr. tells his parents he's taking the dogs out for a walk. He never comes home. The dogs turn up, but Steven gone without a trace. How does a boy vanish into thin air just steps from his front door? Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris. Let's recap. It's February 15th, 2001, a cold night in Benton Township, Michigan. 12-year-old Steven Earl Kraft Jr. is smart, funny, a talented artist who loves to draw. And that Thursday night, he heads out around 7 p.m. with the family dogs. They go with him everywhere. He tells his mom he's going to a friend's house down the street while she makes dinner. He'll be back by 8. But 8 comes and goes. By 9, still no Steven. At first, his parents assume he's at his older sister's place around the corner. She's 18, married with a baby, and Steven is crazy about his little nephew. But when they call to check, she hasn't seen him. Now they're worried. They go door to door. They call friends, neighbors, anyone who might know where he is. Some neighbors remember seeing him and his dogs walking down the street that night, but that's a common sight, and they don't notice where he went. By 1 a.m., Steven is reported missing. A few days later, the FBI gets involved. His large family lives on a quiet dead-end street just off a busy highway. They're tight-knit, social, always chatting with the neighbors. Everyone in the neighborhood knows Steven. He's the kid who stops by just to say hi, grabs a snack, hangs out for a bit. The last time anyone sees him, he's wearing an Aqua Charlotte Hornets jacket, a tan and white striped shirt, and tan pants. No hat, no gloves. And that's alarming because it's freezing, and it stays that way for days. Steven loves the woods, so when he disappears, that's the first place they look. Local ponds, frozen lakes, the whole area is searched. And then they catch a break. His footprints, right alongside the dogs, heading straight toward Harbor Haven Ministries. It's just a few blocks from home. Behind it is a frozen pond, completely iced over. They check it carefully, but there's no cracks, no holes, nothing to suggest he fell through. Nobody saw Steven go into the building, but it's clear he was near it. That's where the trail seems to stop. Then, 3 days after Steven disappears, something strange happens. His older dog, a German Shepherd Chow mix, comes back home. No one sees where she came from. She's cold, hungry, but somehow she's not hurt. But she seems shaken, jumpy. The family warms her up, feeds her, then lets her out again, hoping she'll lead them to Steven. She keeps going back to one spot, the area near Harbor Haven Ministries. So search teams sweep it again. Nothing. Then, the next day, Steven's German Shepherd puppy, just 6 months old, is found too, near Blue Creek, a mile and a half from home. Search crews scour the area, but find no sign of Steven. Just 2 dogs and a trail gone cold. Right before he disappeared, he had just finished a 5-day suspension from school. He was supposed to go back to class the next day. Now, here's the thing. The school says Steven wasn't really the one to blame. Yeah, there was a fight, but Steven was just defending himself. But school policy said both kids had to be suspended, even though it was unfair and he wasn't the kind of kid to make problems. No one at school seemed to think it had anything to do with his disappearance. So, if it wasn't the school fight, and he didn't run off, what did happen to Steven Kraft Jr.? By the end of February, they'd searched everything. Cops, volunteers, K-9 units, helicopters. They scoured 10 square miles, woods, creeks, fields, and nothing. That's when detectives had to face a hard truth. It's no longer a missing person case. It's a kidnapping. 6 years after Steven vanishes, there's a new lead. In 2007, a special task force starts digging into a chilling possibility. Could convicted child molester Michael Devlin have crossed paths with him? Devlin lived near St. Louis, Missouri, but as a kid, his family vacationed on Lake Michigan in Pentwater, just 2 hours north of Benton Township. The police chief puts it like this. This guy was in Michigan, he had access, and now we know he definitely kidnapped other kids. The boys he did take? 15-year-old Sean Hornbeck and 13-year-old Ben Ownby. Both were found in Devlin's apartment. Sean was missing for more than 4 years, snatched off his bike at 11, forced to live as Michael's son. Ben was taken while waiting for the school bus. A classmate saw a suspicious white truck speeding away. That tip cracked the case 4 days later. Police traced it to a pizzeria. Michael was the manager. He confessed and led them straight to the boys. He's now serving 74 life sentences. But what about Steven? Michael Devlin's link looks solid on paper. Summer cottage, 2 hours away, a history of snatching boys Steven's age off quiet streets. Yet, after a full sweep of properties connected to him, not one shred of evidence connects him to 12-year-old Steven Kraft. To this day, Michael Devlin has never confessed to more victims. Decades later, Steven Kraft Jr. is still missing. No sightings, no leads, no answers. The FBI keeps his case open, local police keep digging, but the one thing his family prayed for, a break, never came. Both Steven's parents passed away in 2021, just months apart, without ever knowing what happened to their son. Benton Heights has changed too. Steven's childhood home is gone. Whole blocks have been bulldozed. An airport now sits where he once walked his dogs and played in the woods. What hasn't changed is the search for this missing boy. So, does someone out there still know the truth? Or will this remain one of Michigan's coldest cases? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you want all the crime in half the time, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm Chris. Amy and I are back with new recaps 3 times a week. Until then, take care.